All right, let's get right into it. Think about it. We live inside our web browsers, but how much do we really control our own privacy and, honestly, our productivity? Today, we're going to look at a totally different way of browsing the web, one that goes way beyond the tools we all think we know. You know the drill. You open an incognito or private window, and you feel like you've just put on an invisibility cloak. But I want you to really stop and think about this question. Is that session actually private? Are you truly anonymous, or are you just hiding your browser history from the next person who hops on your computer?
This quote really nails it. The tech used to track us online, everything from cookies to some seriously sophisticated device fingerprinting, it is just relentless. It feels like a constant cat and mouse game. And let's be honest, we're usually the mouse.
So, let's unpack this whole private browsing problem. We're going to dig into why our current habits and all the tools we depend on just aren't cutting it when it comes to keeping our digital lives separate and secure.
Because you see, real anonymity online isn't just about clearing your cookies when you're done. No way. It's about total, complete isolation between your different digital identities. It means making sure that the work you do for one client doesn't accidentally bleed over and mess with another. It's about controlling your location on a case-by-case basis. It's about leaving the smallest digital footprint you possibly can.
So, keeping that higher standard in mind, let's take a hard look at the tools you probably have open right now and really understand their biggest flaws. I bet this list looks super familiar, right? We're all juggling multiple browser profiles, one for work, one for personal stuff. Maybe you fire up a whole second browser like Firefox when Chrome gets a little too messy. And of course, a lot of us use a system-wide VPN to change our location. These are the workarounds we've all just kind of gotten used to. But here it is, the big, critical flaw. Every single one of those methods runs locally, right on your machine. They're all sharing the same system resources, the same memory, and because of that, they can leak data and tracking info between sessions. They are not truly isolated from each other, not even close. Now, this slide just lays it all out so perfectly. Look at the execution location, your machine versus a secure cloud server, or session isolation. What we have now is leaky, but this new approach offers complete, total isolation. And IP control, a system-wide VPN is all or nothing. Cloud browsing gives you granular per-tab control. This isn't just a small upgrade. We're talking about a completely different architecture. Which brings us to this whole new approach. I mean, if the problem is that everything is running locally on your computer, what's the solution? Well, you move it somewhere else entirely. And that is the core idea behind cloud browsing. It might sound complicated, but in reality, it's incredibly simple. From a web dashboard, you just launch a session. That web page doesn't even load on your computer. Nope, it loads inside a secure, disposable container on a server somewhere else. What you see and interact with on your screen is just a safe, secure stream of that page. And this is the real magic. All the messy, potentially sketchy parts of the web, the trackers, the cookies, even malware, they all stay stuck in that remote container. They never, ever touch your local machine. Your computer basically just becomes a secure window. Okay, so let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to use a platform called Sendwin as a case study to see where this theory of cloud browsing actually meets the practical needs of our day-to-day work. So, who actually benefits from this kind of thing? See if you recognize your own workflow here. Marketers trying to manage a dozen different client ad accounts without them all getting mixed up. E-commerce sellers with multiple storefronts. Or hey, maybe you're a remote worker who just wants a rock-solid wall between your work life and your personal life. And what's really amazing is that this isn't just about privacy. It's about pure, raw productivity. By getting rid of the constant logging in and out, the profile switching, and those oops, I'm in the wrong account moments, you can slash the busy work and seriously speed up your actual workflow. This quote just perfectly captures one of the coolest uses for this tech. We've all been there. That awkward moment when you need to give a teammate access to an account. Instead of sending a password over Slack, which please, never do that, you can securely share a live, logged-in session. And you have absolute control over that shared session. You can set a timer, say for 30 minutes. You can blur out sensitive info on the screen, like credit card numbers. And you can revoke their access instantly with a single click. It's collaboration, but made safe. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but how hard is it to set up? Well, let's walk through what it typically takes to get started. Honestly, it's usually this simple. For most of these cloud platforms, there's no software to install, no complicated settings to figure out. You just sign up on their website, pick a plan, and boom, you can launch your first completely isolated browser session right from your dashboard, literally in seconds.
The plans are typically really straightforward. Using Sendwin as our example, you can see both plans give you the core stuff, like unlimited multi-logins. The higher tier plans usually just add on advanced collaboration features, like being able to share it with a simple link or the ability to blur parts of the screen.
And to let people really kick the tires, the barrier to entry is often super low. For instance, some services will offer a trial period for just a single dollar. That $1 gives you full access for a whole week to see how this kind of technology fits into your own workflow. It's a seriously low-risk way to test the waters without any big commitment. And hey, if a week isn't quite enough time, these platforms often build in even more reassurance for new users. Yeah, a 30-day money-back guarantee is pretty common. That means you can sign up, really put the tech through its paces for a whole month, and if it's not for you, no financial risk at all. So it really all boils down to this one question. After all these years of juggling profiles and leaky incognito tabs, are you ready to embrace true browser isolation? To finally build that real, solid wall between your digital lives for better security, better privacy, and honestly, better productivity? It's a brand new way to think about the most important tool we use every single day.